And Jesus, looking upon them, saith, With men it is impossible, but not with God. For with God all things are possible. Mark chapter 10, verse 27. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord, and he shall save thee. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 22. My flesh and my heart faileth, but God is the strength of my heart, and my portion forever. Psalm 73, verse 26. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in right paths. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 11. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 4. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savour, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out, and to be trodden under foot of men. Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 to 16. And all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land, or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's. It is holy unto the Lord. Leviticus chapter 27, verses 30 to 34. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. James chapter 1, verse 5. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Luke chapter 6, verse 46. Take fast hold of instruction, let her not go, keep her, for she is thy life. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 13. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. John chapter 3, verses 16 to 17. Watch ye, stand fast in the faith, quit you like men, be strong. 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 13. Then shall ye return, and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. Malachi chapter 3, verse 18. The heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 15. For I delivered unto you, first of all, that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins, according to the Scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day, according to the Scriptures. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 3 to 4. He answered and said, Whether he be a sinner or no, I know not. One thing I know, that whereas I was blind, now I see. John chapter 9, verse 25. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. John chapter 5, verse 24. For whereas there is among you envying, and strife, and divisions, are ye not carnal, and walk as men? 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 3. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Luke chapter 21, verse 36. For to this end also did I write, that I might know the proof of you, whether ye be obedient in all things. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 5 to 6. Every man according as he purposed in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loveth a cheerful giver. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7. And they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and in breaking of bread, and in prayers. Acts chapter 2, verses 42 to 47. Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. And he said unto his men, The Lord forbid that I should do this thing unto my master, the Lord's anointed, to stretch forth mine hand against him, seeing he is the anointed of the Lord. 1 Samuel chapter 24, verses 6 to 10. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name. John chapter 1, verse 12. And he charged them, saying, Thus shall ye do in the fear of the Lord, faithfully, and with a perfect heart. 2 Chronicles chapter 19, verse 9. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8. Those things which ye have both learned, and received, and heard, and seen in me, do, and the God of peace shall be with you. Philippians chapter 4, verse 9. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. Psalm 37, verse 24. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then will I be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries. Exodus chapter 23, verse 22. Doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Luke chapter 21, verses 9 to 36. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? John chapter 11, verses 25 to 26.